Tonight on Bayou Time, it looks like Andrew Robison will be able to play in his next football game as a senior at Hahnville. We'll have the story. We'll try to get phone communications going. It's all next on Bayou Time.
Deep in the heart of the bayou, we are gathered here tonight. Now it's time for action, 'cause our lives are on the line. Tonight we'll do our very best to break through all the bureaucratic mess. The time has come tonight, 'cause it's Bayou Time. Show what Louisiana's all about.
Now, from the Eugene Folse Studios in Houma, here's Martin Folse.
All right, welcome to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Folse. And breaking news, looks like Andrew Robison will be able to play football in his next game at Hahnville. And there you see some B-roll of the young quarterback. And certainly this has been a long ordeal. And arbitrators met with Hahnville and also the Robison family. And certainly this was a big decision coming down today. I'm sure one of the Robisons are very thankful for. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll get on the phone lines. Don't go away. Big news. And welcome back to Bayou Time. Some breaking news. I'm Martin Folse. We've been covering this Andrew Robison case for quite some time. He is the former Vanderbilt quarterback. There you see some B-roll of young athlete as he's watching the game. There you see him making some throws, warming up. Well, he hasn't played a down this season. And joining me now is Eric Richey, who's been covering this story. Eric is a former anchor here at HTV, good friend of HTV, does a lot of freelancing, does plenty of sports work around the state. Eric, are you there?
I am here, Martin. I'm here, bud.
All right. So thank you for joining us, Eric. And I know you've been covering this story quite a bit. Some late breaking news coming out of the arbitration. And what do you know at this point?
Well, I received a call probably within the hour that that Hahnville High School had won its arbitration case against the LHSAA, which obviously meant that Andrew Robison was immediately declared eligible and would be able to play in Hahnville's next football game, which ironically is in Houma against HL Bourgeois this Friday night. Since that time, we've received an official statement from the LHSAA. I spoke to the principal, spoke to members at the school board. I can read some of the statement if you'd like, but I can just tell you that Hahnville High School feels vindicated. Brian Lumar, their principal, said you can tell them hashtag We Are Hahnville, but as you might imagine, just a very fluid situation. Facts are coming in, but the bottom line is this arbitration case, the ruling was actually expected this past Friday, Martin. We thought he might actually make his debut if the ruling went in favor of Hahnville at Central Lafourche last Friday. The family did not hear a word on Friday over the weekend. I talked to Mr. Robison, Drew Robison, on Monday, still no word. And then today, finally, the arbitrator ruled in favor of Hahnville High School. And that's what's happened over the last hour.
Let me ask you this, because this has been, can you imagine, and we've talked about it quite a bit, being 18-year-old and not playing your senior season, and now we're getting close to playoff time, and everything's starting to peak. And we got Terrebonne playing Destrehan this week. We got LSU playing Alabama. We got Vanderbilt playing Edie White. And now we got Andrew Robison, who may play on Friday night. This has really got to be a bittersweet moment for him, not playing all year, but now he gets eligible to play.
Martin, I spoke to Andrew probably 10 minutes ago by phone. We were going to go, visit him, get a quick interview. He is actually headed to New Orleans right now, we'll talk to him tomorrow at practice for Hahnville High School. But if I could just tell you, the excitement in that young man's voice, you could tell he'd been screaming. I'm sure his eyes are watering. He was so elated that he was basically given his life back. And if you remember what it was like to play sports in your senior year of high school, Martin, sports is your life, and that's who you are. That defines, your person, your being. I did the same in high school baseball up in Pennsylvania. That's who I was. So I heard in that voice pure joy, pure excitement, and just eagerness to get back onto the playing field, and you could just see him smiling through the phone, Martin.
Yeah, I'm told that in the ruling, correct me if I'm wrong, is that the LHSAA now has to pay all legal costs in that matter. Is that what you're hearing too?
Well, I got the release just as I was on hold to go on with you. I mean, I'll read it out loud, the first paragraph. Basically, this is from Hahnville High School. The arbitrator ruled that the finding of illegal recruitment is arbitrary and capricious, and that the family did complete a bona fide move. During this time, the school has sought a fair, unbiased hearing through arbitration, and we are extremely thankful that the arbitrator ruled on the facts surrounding the case.
Yeah, and I'm just being handed the same thing. I'm reading along with you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you go ahead. You read it there. You got it. I'm reading it off the computer as, the first time itself. But, again, this is the statement, the official statement from Hahnville High School. I have not seen the actual ruling. But, again, the arbitrator, who, again, is an independent attorney agreed upon by both the LHSAA and Hahnville High School. It's a lawyer who practices law in Mandeville. Again, that ruling was expected on Friday. It came a few days late, but it's still in time to let Andrew Robison at least get on the playing field his senior season of football.
And that takes the veil off of Hahnville, who, of course, before didn't want to play Andrew because they had fear of retribution coming off. So, and we all know that when you bring in an arbitrator, both sides are bound by the arbitrator's decision. So this is just like it would have been in the court of law, because it is it's an extension of the court of law, so to speak. So Hahnville has no repercussions at this point.
Exactly. And remember, that temporary restraining order was ruled upon, 4 weeks ago, Martin? Quite a long time that Hahnville could have played Andrew, but as the reasons that you just mentioned, for fear of even more sanctions or penalties upon the team, maybe not even just this year. Maybe those sanctions were extended into next season for players that had nothing to do with this, obviously, at all, and would be penalized if, in fact, Hahnville would have played Andrew and this arbitration case would have went the other way. So they stayed safe, and they ultimately won. In their statement, they say, we feel that it's a victory for not only Andrew, Hahnville High School, Coach Salt, the football team, and St. Charles Parish Public Schools, but they say for all student-athletes in public school systems across the state. Well, all right, Eric Richey, good to hear from you again. And you're going to be, I'm sure, covering a game in Houma. You'll be back in Houma. You'll see me at HL Bourgeois on Friday, and I can't even believe I'm saying that with the games that you mentioned. We had Edie White on our show, South Louisiana Football. We taped that last night at the Wellness Center in Thibodaux Regional. We're going to have that show on the air on Cox Sports Television Thursday. I mean, I'd love to go to Edie White Vanderbilt. I'd love to go to St. Charles St. James playing for a district championship. And I thought a slam dunk I would be at Destrehan Terrebonne. But for this story that we've really followed since he announced he was going to Hahnville at the Saints complex, we interviewed him at a Tulane LSU combined football camp. We've got to play it out. We'll be covering Andrew Robison Friday at HL Bourgeois. Well, Eric, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Once again, Eric Richey coming to us. Good luck in your show. You do a great job with that, and we appreciate you joining us tonight. Appreciate you having me, Martin. Thanks so much. All right, Eric. Take care. All right, let me talk to my producers real quick. Do we have someone on line too? All right, who do we have?
Oh, okay. All right. We are, let's see. Kade, are you there? Kade, are you there? I don't hear. Yeah, let's see if we could get Kade on before I take a break, because I'm going to try to. Let's try to reconnect with him if we can. Let me take a short break. We're going to come right back, try to get Kade Rogers, athletic director for Hahnville, back on the line. Don't go away. All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. We're joined now by Kade Rogers, who is, of course, athletic director at the Hahnville for the system. And Kade, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right, Kade, thank you for joining us tonight. I know this has been a long news story for a lot of people, but it's longer probably for Andrew Robison than anybody else waiting to play. First of all, representing Hahnville, your thoughts tonight, and obviously the ruling came down late. What were your thoughts?
Of course, excited. Like you said before, it's been a lengthy process, but we wanted to make sure that we adhered to and respected, the LHSA's bylaws and guidelines that they have outlined in their handbook, and go about it the right way to make sure that we crossed all our T's and dotted all of our I's. With that being said, again, the excitement and just being able to, come out on the right side of this ordeal, is something that's, positive, not only for, Hahnville High School, but, our school community and the district as a whole. I think this is something that is kind of monumental, within the state of Louisiana, that may, affect change, within the LHSA, so we can look and do what's in the betterment of all student athletes, not just, our case.
And that was my next question. This throws a lot of light on the LHSAA, and obviously the arbitrator looked at everything, and she determined that the family did complete a bona fide move. And so this shines a light on the LHSAA. Of course, y'all are still governed by the LHSAA, so it puts everybody in a trick bag. But how do you work through this as an AD? It's got to be a little tricky, isn't it?
Yes, sir. It absolutely is. It's in reading the arbitrator's decision in the final document that we received this afternoon. It is something that they not only established, the Robisons not only established that it was a bona fide move, but all of the findings through the LHSA, the recruiting violation that was alleged by Vanderbilt Catholic and the LHSA was also overturned. And the arbitrator was able to use the investigators' findings through the determining factors to make the majority of the decisions in the document that we received from her. So, it's a process that we wanted to respect. We respect the LHSA, and we want to make sure that we do things the right way, as we always do here in St. Charles Parish. But wanted, again, to go through the process that is outlined in the handbook and follow everything to a T to make sure that, we weren't missing anything. And, like I said at the beginning, to be on the right side and come out, I guess in a term, victorious with this.
Yeah, we did. I did place a text to Drew Robison, the father, to try to get some comments. Of course, this was all right before airtime, so we had Eric Richey on and we had you on. But have you talked to Andrew?
I have not spoken to Andrew. I know I came over to meet with Coach Salta-Formaggio and the coaching staff here at Hahnville High School to inform them of the decision that was made.
What was their reaction?
It's one, as a coach, you kind of stay the course, and they were able to stay the course this year, and there have been some players that have stepped up and carried the load, and some coaches that have stepped up and carried the load here at Hahnville High School, of course, with Coach Salta-Formaggio's suspension. and Andrew not being eligible. So, I think there's a sense of excitement with it, but knowing that, there's still players and coaches that are to be commended for keeping this ship afloat and ensuring that, the expectations are being met, within Hahnville High School's athletic program to keep the tradition and excellent athletic programs alive.
All right. Well, Kade, we appreciate you joining us tonight. We had a bunch of games to cover, but I know there'll be a lot of people covering that game tomorrow night, Friday night, and seeing what goes down. So congratulations to Hahnville. Congratulations to Andrew. He's going to be able to play, and we'll keep following the story as it progresses. But thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, no problem. And I do thank you, Martin, and HTV and everybody keeping up with this and being able to report the facts and staying the course right along with us. So that is greatly appreciated on our end as well.
All right, Kade. Thank you very much. We appreciate you being with us. All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Jason DeGate, who's supposed to be hosting this show, but sort of took over because I've been following this story. And it's interesting, as we go on with this, we're going to have to find out, I'm sure that there's still a lawsuit out there, so we're going to get Fred Fondren back in to talk about that probably tomorrow or the next day to break it down. But nonetheless, this is the press release right here from Hahnville. A very good day for young Andrew Robison. He's going to play Friday night, and it looks like he's won his arbitration, so things have changed, and it's a good week for Andrew Robison. And we'll keep following the story. We'll take a break. Jason's up next. Don't go away.